Today was the day, at least for me and the game, that solidified Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as my MVP favorite and the Thunder as my definitive NBA championship favorites. There are three elite teams in basketball right now that are clearly head and shoulders above the rest, being the Thunder, the Cavs, and the Celtics. And I mean, the Thunder just whooped the Kings or the Knicks in the second half. They then absolutely annihilate the Celtics in the second half. I have a stat for y'all in a second to show that. But I mean, it's just incredible back-to-back dominant performances by the Thunder. They find a way to win a big game against the defending champions, who were, by the way, fully healthy. Not a single important Celtic did not play today. They only played a 9-man rotation with Hauser, Cornette, Horford, and Pritchard off the bench, which is more of what you would expect in a finals-type atmosphere game where they would only go 8 or 9 deep. And yet, the Celtics just had no answer for the Thunder in the second half. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with a dominant performance, was clearly the best player on the court. Not unbelievably efficient, but 50% from three is elite. 8 of 8 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 33 points. Had himself some serious moments in this game, and really, I think, established himself as the championship favorite, or sorry, the MVP favorite, and helped establish the Thunder as the championship favorite. I mean, again, at this point in the season, this team is 30-5. They've won 15 games in a row. They are just running away with the West and looking like the most dominant team in basketball. I cannot wait, by the way, for their game against the Cavs here in a couple days. That's going to be an incredible performance. But before we hop into the video and glaze the Thunder some more, because I'm sure that's probably what some people are thinking about me giving them this much credit. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 2,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I'm uploading every single day, multiple videos a day on the NBA. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So first things first, y'all. I will say, if there's one thing to criticize today, J-Dub did not play well. He has a history, it seems, at this point in his career anyway, of not being a big game, big moment performer, and he wasn't today. 35 minutes, I mean, 10.6 rebounds, 5 assists. He was a team high plus 19. Thought he was pretty good defensively, but I don't know. You expect a little bit better out of your co-star, guy who's averaging 20 a game and has really elevated his game this season. He just hasn't been that in big games. And that's something that he's going to have to improve in if they want to win a title. I do believe that. He can't be a just tertiary guy in these big moments. He continues to shy away, it feels like, from those moments, and something you're going to want to see him improve in for sure. But Aaron Wiggins had 15 off the bench today. Cason Wallace had a pretty good game. Lou Dort made a couple of big shots down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Hartenstein played his role very solidly. I just thought as a whole, it was a really solid performance by the rest of the Thunder, with the exception of J-Dub. And then SGA had himself another monster game. I mean, look at this highlight, y'all. I don't see how we can look at this and not, I got to go full screen for this one too. I don't see how we can look at this and not say that SGA right now anyway is the MVP favorite. I mean, this Jrue Holiday, one of the best perimeter defenders in all of basketball. They're up 6 minutes left on a big run, 13-5 run in the last 4 minutes. And they do this. SGA just absolutely cooks Jrue Holiday. Step back 3 over him, knock it down, big shot. And then just a couple possessions later, right here, J-Dub misses a 3. Derek White rebound, throws an outlet. Jason Tatum, that's an easy layup, right? No, it's not, because SGA is one of the best defensive guards in all of basketball. Chases down that and gets himself a block. Honestly, a really, really impressive defensive play. And look, I don't want to over-exaggerate my praise of Shai, because I think he's a great player, but I do not exactly think that he is without his flaws. But you can't sit here and act like this dude isn't having the best season, at least on a team that is this good this year. I guess I get the argument for Jokic. He has been incredible. He's the best player in the world, in my opinion, especially on the offensive end of the court by far. But the Thunder are 30-5, y'all. They are absolutely running away with the #1 seed in the Western Conference, up 7 games at this point. The Nuggets are the 4th seed and don't seem to be consistently like a real threat. The only reason they're the 4th seed, in my opinion, is the Mavs have struggled. They've lost 4 games in a row because of Luka and Kyrie injuries. Like, the Nuggets are, at best, I think, the 5th or 6th best team in the Western Conference, because you got to consider the Clippers. Lakers have been better as of late. Like, I just don't think the Nuggets are serious contenders. And so looking at the real contenders, Shai is the best player on any of these teams so far this season. 100%. He is having a dominating year, averaging 31 a game, 5.5 rebounds, 6 assists. Assist turnover ratio is very solid. He's like 3rd in the league in steals at 2 a game. He even averages over a block a game. He's legitimately a very good defender. He's become a better 3-point shooter, and he's doing it on a higher volume this year. Still only 35.5%, but that's really significant improvement from where he used to be, especially on 6 attempts a game. He's becoming more and more confident stepping into those, shooting them in clutch moments, shooting step back, side steps, all that type of stuff, like with the shot we saw him shoot against Jrue today. Like, this is the type of stuff you expect to see from an MVP. And a dude doing this on a 30-5 team that, again, doesn't have their 3rd best player. Chet Holmgren has played 5 games this season. Or maybe it's 8. I don't know. How many games has Chet played? 10 games. I'm sorry. I underestimated a little bit. He has only played 10 games this year. They've played their last 25 games without Chet Holmgren, and yet they're 30-5. When they get Chet back, good Lord, the Thunder are going to be terrifying. How do you beat this team, in all honesty? With the amount of depth, defense, switchability, and talent that they have, I mean, I don't know what you do. Caruso didn't play today. AJ Mitchell didn't play today. Both those guys have been high-level perimeter defenders. AJ Mitchell's been shooting the crap out of the ball. Caruso's honestly played really poorly offensively, and like that's probably not going to continue as the season progresses. The thing about this team is you have to have a certain skill set, especially to beat the Boston Celtics. You have to have a certain versatility in roster construction to compete against this team. You have to have a ton of very high-level, switchable, athletic, quality perimeter defenders. And the Thunder have exactly that. It's the only way to really consistently counter this Celtics driving kick, 5-out type attack. And they have that in SGA, J-Dub, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace. Aaron Wiggins isn't bad defensively. Isaiah Joe competes, and he's an elite level shooter. Alex Caruso, obviously a great defender. AJ Mitchell has been a huge find for this team. Kendrick Williams, when he plays, super high effort, super high intensity guy. There are so many different guys on this team and so much depth. And then you add in the Hartenstein and Holmgren segment of this squad. It's just like, there's not a team better equipped in basketball to beat the Celtics, first and foremost. And I mean, this stat is pretty ridiculous, and it's not something that would happen again. But in the second half, the Celtics, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, 5 of their 6 most important scorers, at least perimeter scorers outside of, I guess, KP and Horford, who are their bigs. 5 of their 6 most important wing guard players. 0 of 19 from the 4, 0 of 13 from 3, 0 points. I agree with this dude. This dude's some sort of Celtics reporter. I agree that would never happen again. But still, the defensive was really, really impressive in the second half by the Thunder today. Again, they scored 27 points in the second half today, which is what this stat talks about. 1,056 games since they were worse, and 25 points in the first half against Indiana in January of 2012, which I believe was Brad Stevens' first season coaching the Celtics. So it's been a very, very long time since anything like this happened. And so, yes, is that an anomaly for the Celtics? It is. Is it also worth keeping in mind that that is in large part because the Thunder, while yes, a very good offensive team, are incredible defensively. They lead the league by a massive margin in defensive rating at 102.7. The offensive rating of 114.8 certainly isn't bad either, at 8th in the league. And I think adding Chet back into that mix could raise that offensive ceiling even higher. I mean, there's so little to actually criticize about this team. I mean, the only thing I think you can really criticize is the fact that I do think they have a couple of rotation players in Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso who might be truly inconsistent shooters you can't really trust down the stretch potentially. And if those guys were to shoot bad, I mean, Dort has had his struggles shooting in the playoffs, especially in the past, but he's shooting the 3-ball really well this season. That'd be my biggest concern for this team, is that their wings go cold, especially with J-Dub's clear issues with some of these big time games at this point. That'd be my biggest concern playoff wise, is that their wings go cold and they just can't hit shots. But besides that, I mean, there are very few things to look at with this Thunder team and not go, oh yeah, this team's the best team in the sport. Because they look like the best team in the sport right now. 100%. They are just so elite on both ends of the court. They're clearly the best defensive team in the league. And they're doing that without one of the best defensive bigs in basketball in Chet Holmgren. I mean, when they get fully healthy, if they can stay fully healthy, there is not a team in basketball that is better than the Oklahoma City Thunder. Plain and simple. I predicted them to win the title before the season, and I got to say, I think that prediction is looking phenomenal right now. And look, call me a Glazer if you want. I'm not a Thunder fan, y'all. I'm a Mavs fan. I don't actually like the Thunder very much. There's a rivalry between those two teams. But I am also going to appreciate greatness, and this Thunder team is exactly that. They deserve all the praise in the world, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should be the MVP today, because he is one of the 2 or 3 best players in the world as today is, and he's doing it on a team that is the best team in basketball, whereas Jokic is doing it on an overall mediocre team. So I think Shai should be the MVP, in all honesty. Like, I know Jokic's offensive stats are better. Jokic has been so poor defensively this season as well, like especially this year. This year's been the worst defensive Jokic season, I think, ever. You can have the MVP debate for days, and look, Jokic is going to have his opportunity later this week in another big matchup to stake his case towards that MVP. And we're early in the year still. We're not even halfway through the season. A lot of things can change. If the MVP race ended today, though, I personally am giving the award to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's all I'm saying. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.